Hello and welcome back to Everybody Hates Barney. We're here on the clan screen because I just wanted you to see that we actually did make it to clan tier 2. I don't know whether I actually highlighted that in a previous episode, but yeah. We also have 4 companion slots. So I will try, if I can, find an additional, well, 4. So that we can actually fill out our companions. And hopefully we're even going to be able to find some roguery companions as well. Because if we can find some roguery ones, we'll actually be able to use those in alleyways. And that is actually going to provide us with a passive income. Obviously, as you may expect, the passive income that we may get from that is going to be maybe somewhat lackluster. From my perspective, I've actually tried that out in previous series, and I don't know whether it's been tuned at all or whether it's been changed in any way, but from what I remember, it gives an extremely minuscule amount, and maybe early on, that may make quite a bit of a difference, but from what I remember, it gives very little, so I'm hopeful that it will actually give a lot more now, but I'm not really holding my breath too much. But I can only hope that it is actually going to provide us with a decent number. So we'll see what happens. But that is, of course, reliant on the fact that I can find some companions that actually do fit the bill, as it were. Because we are going to need companions that actually have roguery skill. And we're going to need companions that have a certain mercy trait level. And that's obviously the main problem here. The mercy trait level is the main issue, mostly, because roguery is kind of fixable. Roguery is okay. I can kind of work with that, because we may be able to get some people's roguery leveled up. I'm not entirely sure how I'm supposed to do that, to be honest, because I know how to level my own roguery skill, but leveling a companion's roguery, that's a little bit different, you know? Anyway, I think, wasn't that the guy? Was it? No, that's just some random, that's just some random unit. Okay, I was thinking that I actually took out the enemy right there, but no. This guy actually has some really good level units as well. As you can see, look at these guys. They're actually really good. Anyway, we have 200. Look at that. 200 in thrown weapons now, which I have to say, I never expected to get. I thought to myself, yeah, this is going to be really, really difficult. Let's actually tell people to charge in now. Tell everyone to charge apart from the archers here. I'm not using too many advanced strategies right now because these enemies, if I actually do my job correctly, if I actually use my thrown weapons right, and I eliminate some of the highest tier units, and my archers are actually kind of useful, then we are going to be fine. You know, most of the time that's going to be enough to make all the difference. And as you see, we won with 0 casualties. I mean, yeah, we did have one person get knocked unconscious, but that isn't really what I'm not really counting that. Anyway, let's just take this guy prisoner, and then we can take some more of these guys as well, which is obviously fantastic. So let's actually do that, but I'm going to take high tier ones first of all, and then we're going to be taking low tier ones. Now, obviously the main thing that we have to consider whenever taking prisoners now is that we are going to inevitably have conversions to do. Conversions are of course going to be coming in, and those conversions do need to be done on lower tier units. It's going to take way too long for the higher tier ones to actually get converted. I believe there is another perk that increases its speed, but I could be wrong. I don't remember which tree that is actually in, which skill tree that's actually in, but I think it's in the steward tree. So that kind of kills any possibility of that happening, because my steward skill and indeed the focus points in that are very, very low. So we're probably not going to get that working at all, but you know, maybe at some point in the future we might be able to. Anyway, I'm just going to sell these things. 3,100 is pretty decent, not too bad. And we can otherwise just start doing this. We can go in here. We can ransom some people. I'm actually kind of lucky, to be honest, that most of the people that we currently have are still sellable through here. I'm going to keep tier 4s. I'm going to keep the tier 4s, and we're going to see how that goes. As you can see, look at what's going on here. We're not getting any roguery skill whatsoever from this. Oh, hello. There is a companion here. Okay. He is an engineer, as you can quite clearly tell. He literally only is good at engineering, which makes me very, very disappointed indeed, because I was kind of hoping that he'd be a little bit more useful than that. I mean, okay, no offense right now, okay, but an engineering companion is obviously, you know, pretty good. You know, an engineering companion is fine. Perfectly fine. However, I am not really looking for that. I'm looking for a roguery companion if at all possible, so I'm kind of wanting that. Anyway, yeah, we still need to get to 250 for Impale. Yeah, this is that's a pretty huge pain, isn't it? Okay, so let's actually go into the tournament here. I know, we're not going to be doing too many of these, so, you know, it's nice to just have a bit of a change of pace. They gave me thrown weapons? Oh, wow. This might actually work out quite well for us. Or maybe I'll just miss, because I'm really bad. There we go. Okay, this guy, for some reason, took very little damage. That just went right through that guy's head. I don't know whether you noticed that. It just phased through his head. That was very amusing. But I assume I just had the wrong angle. I must have had the wrong angle, because the game's never wrong. So... Okay, wait. Here we go. Nice headshot right there. Nice headshot. Oh, no, that was Furcred. We actually took him out. That's wonderful. And let's just try and hit this guy. Okay, never mind. Apparently I am just that terrible with my thrown weapons. Because I was overconfident, you know? I said to you, oh yes, we've got thrown weapons. This should be easy. And then as soon as I said that, well, then you know what's going to happen. I'm just going to miss every single one. Thankfully, this guy got himself knocked off his mount. That's going to be a lot easier for us to deal with now. And then we can just deal with this guy. Hopefully we can hit him in the head and eliminate him before they kill my... Nope, never mind. Okay, they didn't. Oh, I see. Oh, what's that? This is kind of interesting. They're actually going for my companions here. This is very strange. Usually they're not gonna do that. Usually the AI in Bannerlord is very single-minded, and they will almost always target the player character. But in that case, they didn't. Very strange. Okay, yeah, I'm not even going to bother using my bow. Basically pointless. This guy might actually... No, never mind. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Thank you for being terrible at this tournament. Yes. Oh, that is exactly what I wanted. Okay, now I just have to deal with this guy. And I don't have to deal with the named. You know, I don't have to deal with the Lord or anything like that. That's going to be good. There we are. Fantastic. Yes. There we go. And we got the Legionary Cape. I was going to say Legendary Cape, but no, it's just a Legionary Cape. So let's actually see what this is all about. Oh, it's pretty terrible. It's pretty terrible. But we can actually give this to Furcred, and you could see here, a cape makes everything better. He's going to look so much cooler now, doesn't he? Apart from if you have a jet engine. If you know that reference, then, props to you. But generally, jet engines and capes, they just do not mesh. You get it. Anyway, so I'm just going to continue converting, and this is one thing that we've got to do as well. One thing that we need to do is we need to find a... Hello. I was going to say, we need to find a village that has very few militia, and going in there and trying to force them to give us troops, because I feel like that's probably going to be a pretty nice way of gaining a little bit of extra recruits, just so that we can kind of push ourselves over the 60 troop threshold, because once we have done that, most opponents are going to be kind of doable, and I'm mostly talking about caravans here, talking about smaller, smaller vassals and things like that. Because as it stands right now, converting people does take quite some time. And I'm thinking we will go actually into this hideout here, because we're not really attacking a huge amount of mountain bandits anymore. If we were continuing to attack mountain bandits, and we did have, a need to do that, then I would probably not attack this hideout. Because I don't know whether you know this, but hideouts have a direct impact on how many spawns there are in a particular area. So generally it is a good idea to leave that if you want to have, you know, a huge amount of people just running around so that you have a, you know, an unlimited source, basically. That's what I'm trying to say here. Anyway. Let's actually just get these guys here. Get these guys as well. There we are. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And there's a reason why I'm getting all these guys, by the way. I am literally, all I'm going to do now, and because I know that I can 100% solo this particular bandit hideout, I'm going to be telling all of my guys just to charge. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to tell them to charge, and we are going to, we're just going to go along for the ride, and I want them to level up. That's their job. You know, their job right now is to level up and to gain as much experience as possible, and to not get killed by my own thrown weapons, because they're stepping in my way. But that's the excuse. Yeah, that's the excuse right there. They're getting in my way. They should probably not do that if they don't want to get hit. You know, it's like a guy that gets hit by a cannon, and it's just like, it's because I stood in the way of that cannon, isn't it? No, it's because the people were aiming for him. Okay, so yeah, who's this guy? Oh, he was carrying his blade really weirdly. Did you see that? Maybe you didn't. It was a bit dark. You know, these maps are pretty dark. But he was carrying his blade in like 2 hands, but it was just a one-handed falchion, so a bit weird. Not entirely sure what's going on with that, but anyway. Let's see what I can do here. This guy, boom. Oh no, I was kind of hopeful for the headshot there, but as you can see, my guy literally just snuck up on him really, really well, in actual fact. What is this, Sekiro? Are you serious? Did you see that? Wow. I don't even know. Anyway, seems like most of the time we can probably just relax and just allow our forces to do their thing, because this is one of the things that I think I've mentioned in passing in the you know, past couple of series I've done. Basically, whenever there is a bandit hideout and you send your troops in to do, you know, the dirty work, as it were, they literally will gain so much experience that they're basically just going to level up. Just straight up, you know. They are just going to level up from pretty much any action they take in here, as long as they get a couple of kills here and there. And it is actually staggering how much they gain. And look at this guy. He's getting shot. And look, he just died. Oh, that is so hilarious. Alright, there we go. Yes, so as I was saying, they can actually eliminate enemies in a stealthy manner, and it's even more fun then, because you saw that, you know, there was a guy there just standing there, and, you know, he was, well, just eliminated completely silently, so it was actually really nice. Anyway, let's see if we can do this. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, yep, there we go. That was easy enough, wasn't it? And there we have it. Okay, so we ended up losing 1 person, which is not really that bad. And we do get a load of prisoners, which obviously I'm not needing them that badly. This is a very nice, look at this, very nice sword. We can sell that for an insane amount of cash. Well, we could probably sell it for about 1,000, I assume. Maybe something around those numbers. But yeah, you can see here that a lot of the people that we just took in there, like for example, the Vlandian Squire, the Highborn Warrior, these guys, they all leveled up. And that's exactly the kind of thing we want to do. Unfortunately, this guy is now on top of us here, so we're going to have to maneuver around him a little bit. Thankfully, Lagata is still a rebel town, so we can actually use this with impunity. We've got to be a little bit careful here. Svana is inside. Yeah. See? She was trying to be sneaky right there. She was trying to be super, super sneaky. And we can also tell that there's someone in there from this icon just underneath the name. So that's something to also just, you know, keep an eye out for if you're attempting to do this challenge alongside me or something along those lines, or maybe you want to do it in the future. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, this sells for literally only 793. Very, very sad, actually, that it only sells for that much. But, you know, You gotta take the money where you can get it, even though we do actually have a pretty significant amount as it stands right now, so we don't really need to worry too much about it. But yeah, as you can see, they are really going for us right now, and hopefully they are not going to wait outside. I can only hope that that is going to not be the case, because if they do wait outside, then we may have a couple of issues, you know, escaping from here, but hopefully not. Anyway. Let's just go and sell my prisoners here. I actually don't know what I want to get rid of, because these hillmen do become brigands, and then they become highwaymen, and then they become Vlandian champions. So we could get highwaymen out of the deal, but not sure if that's particularly necessary. Gonna get rid of these militia as well, because militia actually don't level up that significantly. I'm gonna get rid of the bandit boss as well. And we'll just leave these guys in here, I think. That's probably going to be good enough. And we're not getting anything from that. Okay, so let's actually make my way out of here and see what we can do about raiding a village, because that's something that I've wanted to do for quite some time. Alright, so we've entered another battle here. The main reason why I'm going in here is because I'm pretty sure that if we were to go in to raid a village, that this guy is, because he's kind of close to where the village is that I want to raid, he's most likely going to, you know, make an effort to go over there, and I'd kind of like to prevent that from happening, so that's the reason why I'm taking him out. I'm kind of hoping that the village I choose is also going to be relatively far enough away so that most vassals won't actually even bother with it for the most part, and that's kind of one of the main reasons why we have to be a bit selective. Because raiding a village is one of the most, I think probably, maybe one of the riskiest things that we can actually do in our current situation. Hopefully I'm not going to get killed here as well. Let's actually just go away from here for a real quick second. I'm just going to tell everyone to charge now. And that's the thing, I do not want to get killed. That is one of the things that we do not want to have happen. Because if we do, then I'm going to have to, well, do some annoying things that are going to take me a little bit of extra time, and I don't really have the time to spare. We need to make sure that we are as mobile as possible and as fast as possible in our actions when we are in this particular area. And I'll show you which area we're currently in, because it's kind of, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that it's super dangerous, but it's an area that is filled with bottlenecks, and it's kind of difficult to escape from vassals if they see you. And so I'm kind of thinking that maybe it's not even a good idea to raid a village in this area, but the main reason why I'm going here, to be honest, is because I just think it's so far away. But maybe it's not going to be far away from the vassals in question that we want to stay away from. I don't know. Alright, so we did get 99 in roguery skill now. We can actually take this guy prisoner too. As you can see, he basically doesn't really have anything that I desperately want. I will take some Vlandian footmen and the various other things, but I'm not going to take anything else. We'll take some of the loot here too. And there's a huge amount of caravans in the area. I kind of feel like maybe I should just attack caravans instead of raiding a village. Usually villages don't really give me as much as I would potentially want as a payoff, you know, because obviously a caravan is pretty easy to attack. You know, it's mobile. You can attack them out in the middle of nowhere. You can very quickly leave if you need to, and so on. There's a lot of reasons why that would be somewhat easier than doing this. Now, I'm gonna try to plan our escape route here. Let's see if we can actually make this work. Okay, here we go. So, my thought process is this. We're going to raid this village here or this village here. There are two villages. I kind of scouted out the furthest away village from pretty much, you know, the center here, because I didn't want to go close to the border of two factions. I wanted to choose one faction and have that particular faction's border be relatively far away, because I didn't want to have Batanian vassals, Sturgian vassals, Azerai vassals, all collapsing on top of us at the same time, because I personally feel like that would be an absolute disaster. However, if we are able to do this, we might be able to get, for example, some war horses, we might be able to get some horses in general, and that would be really very useful In my opinion, at least. I feel like that would be very useful. So maybe it's going to be cool. I may also want to go for some more steward skill. I know. I said, hey, you know what? I don't really want to get more steward skill, but at the moment, I feel like it's going to be kind of difficult for me to find a a companion that actually does that. So obviously that's going to be a problem. I've just looked through the perks and there doesn't seem to be a perk there that I desperately desire. So I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? Maybe we want to do something a bit different. Aha! Yeah, so it is actually in the leadership tree, hilariously enough. As you can see right there, plus 50% recruitment rate for infantry prisoners, plus 50% recruitment rate for ranged prisoners. So you could choose between those. I find that quite funny. So yeah, indeed, it is leadership skill. So that's very, very important. I'm thinking right now, let's go for another point in scouting. Mostly because scouting levels up so nicely. I personally think that every single skill in the entire game should level up like scouting skill does, because scouting levels up at a nice, steady pace. It never, you know, kind of stagnates in a huge way. Like for example, roguery skill. Roguery skill is stagnating hugely for me right now. So I personally would prefer if it didn't do that. Anyway, what we're going to do first is we're going to perform a hostile action to force the notables to give us recruits. That's the first thing we're going to do. And they are inevitably going to, as you no doubt can see, they are going to attack us, which hopefully will result in us getting very few casualties, if any, at all. Because obviously they're going to be throwing peasants at us, and they're going to be throwing regular recruits at us, and hopefully not too many militia, and so on. And if we can complete this action with very few casualties, then we can kind of decide whether we want to go in for the raid. Because the raid itself is then going to have basically no resistance whatsoever. We're going to have a larger army as a result of being able to force them to give us recruits. And we're also going to be able to maybe take a couple of these people prisoner in the process too. Obviously, I haven't had the opportunity to offload the other prisoners or to convert the other prisoners. And so it may, in fact, not actually work out in the way that we envisage it, or the way that I do, at least. But I can only hope that maybe they're going to be somewhat useless here, because they are indeed just peasants, and they're most likely just going to have stones and things like that, and they're not going to be super, super powerful. Not super powerful, I said. Huh. I see. Not super powerful. Alright. Well, I guess that actually just goes to show. Never underestimate your opponent. Who killed me? Ah. Yes. I was killed by a crossbowman. Almost 100% I was killed by one of the crossbowmen. Because I actually did not realize that they actually had crossbowmen. They've actually got a huge amount of them, and I did not realize that. Okay. It would be a good idea if I looked at that in the future, wouldn't it? Yeah, it definitely would. Alright, well, we're going to be fine. We're going to take a couple of extra casualties, but as you can see, we just lost one Vlandian sharpshooter, one looter, and one Battanian falksman so far, which isn't really that big a deal. But yeah, I should really look at things like that in the future much more, because that was actually very impressive. I gotta say, I'm gonna give that fellow, you know, props for shooting us in the head like that. That was, what was it, 86 damage or something like that? Pretty crazy. Obviously, we don't have a particularly good helmet. I probably would have been able to survive if I purchased a better helmet. And that actually, you know what? That actually makes me believe that maybe what I should have done in the rebel town is actually super, super stupid of me. I should have maybe purchased some better armor. Did anyone ever think of that? I should have purchased some better armor. I really should. You know, because Furcred's actually got some pretty decent armor himself. I gave him some old gear that I had. As you can see right there, he's got decent-ish stuff. And I obviously have this, which we won from a tournament, and I obviously got this from somewhere else, and my head armor is actually not even that bad, but unfortunately for me, it's not enough. It obviously was not enough to get us the survival there, but oh well, never mind. Anyway, we're just going to do some very, very quick recovery here if we can. Is that actually going to work? Yep, there you go. Preventive medicine's coming in. Very nice. And maybe we can actually attack these guys too. They're moving at... Yeah. We can easily catch these guys. No problem at all. This guy is massive. Wow, look at that. And we can actually get those guys to join us too if we want to, which is actually really, really nice. You know what? I'm going to get rid of these guys now. I'm going to literally get rid of those because I've had enough, okay? I've had enough with those guys taking way too long to join us, so we're just going to let them go for the moment. And if they want to join us in the future, then that's obviously fine. But I'm kind of concentrating on numbers at the moment because I feel like numbers are really going to make a huge difference across the board for a variety of reasons. So I'm just going to try to, you know, get a couple more of those. Because, as I say, if we have good amounts of numbers, we can actually force people into literally just surrendering straight up. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for here. Anyway, we've got a decent amount of HP now. Let's see what else we can get here. 20% better deals with the ransom broker for regular troops. Plus 10 prisoner limit. We also have this. Here we go. This is another cool thing. Plus 30% recruitment rate for bandit prisoners in your party. That's actually fantastic. So I'm going to be taking this. Mostly because we do have... Did I get rid of some? No, we have some brigands right here. We have some Sea Raider chiefs, Sea Raider warriors, and various other things. And hopefully that particular perk is going to help us out at least a little bit, maybe? Cross your fingers and hope for that, eh? Anyway, let's take a hostile action now. No, don't recruit. And we're going to be raiding this village. Now, I'm actually going to use this as an escape route. So what we're going to do is hopefully... if the vassal comes from Praven or comes from somewhere else in Vlandian territory, I'm going to go across the bridge through the trees because obviously we are a Botanian culture. It's going to make it so much easier for us to run away. And as you can see, these guys are actually wanting to attack us. I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't because I obviously already eliminated the, well, the majority of the defenders, but apparently they still wanted to attack us. And now we're just going to raid the village and see what we can get. Hopefully we're going to get something relatively decent, and hopefully my roguery skill is going to increase in the meantime too. Unfortunately, it seems as though I'm not really getting much. What did we get there? Just some random horse? That was it? That was it? Are you serious? Wow. Did we actually get any roguery? No, we got no roguery skill whatsoever. So raiding villages, not useful, as you could quite clearly tell. Very, very not useful. I really want to get Scarface because that's going to be super, super useful for us. White Lies is not that useful at all. So, you know, we need another 125. Okay, what about if I attack some villagers? Doesn't villagers getting killed actually give me more roguery skill? Let me actually just see. As you can see, look at that. It gave me... Are you serious right now that this literally gave me more roguery skill than raiding an entire village? I think something's off. I think something's off with the calculations on that, to be honest. Anyway, let's just take a quick look at this. Party size limit, daily loyalty. Both of these are pretty terrible. Plus 10% battle morale penalty to enemies when with troops in your formation kill an enemy. This is actually kind of good, I guess. It can kind of stack with annoying buzz, which I already have. So we might as well take that. The party size limit is not really necessary right now. Okay, so yeah, once again, I am actually going to do a similar thing here. We're going to do a bit of a sciencey test, okay? And the sciencey test is this. We are going to go into this village. I'm going to try and raid it. I'm going to see how much experience I currently have. I have 5,917. Let me actually just attack some villagers real fast. If I can actually find some. There's a hideout there too. That's quite funny. Maybe that would be a good idea to attack, but I probably shouldn't do that right now. Ooh, a caravan. Oh, hello. Are you faster than I am? Yes, you're much faster than I am. Oh, you absolute imbecile. I was kind of hoping that they wouldn't be. Yes. Why are they so fast, by the way? Am I just really slow? I mean, my prisoners are indeed slowing me down quite a bit. So I suppose that's the reason, right? Oh well, never mind. It's not that big a deal, I suppose. Okay, so let's just go in here. Let's try not to get absolutely murdered. There we go. Attack these guys. And that got me another point in roguery skill. Okay, so let's just see. I'm just very curious. Okay, so this is a good test. So we have 757 out of 6,416. Okay, and so what we're going to do, so we've got 750. Let's say we have 750, right? And we're going to go over to this village. I just want to see if there's anyone in here. No, there isn't. Okay, yeah. So we're going to go over to the village and we're going to raid it. I'm not going to do anything else to it. I'm just going to raid it. And we're going to see how much roguery skill I actually get for doing this action. Because I have 750. And I'm very intrigued, actually. I'm very, very intrigued to see exactly what happens here. I'm going to level up Palatine Guard still. I'm not going to be leveling up into Horse Archers or anything like that. And what we're going to do is we're just going to raid it straight up. Just straight away. They're going to attack us. I'm going to go in for the auto-resolve here. We're going to lose a couple of people, but that is absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that at all because we are going to be getting a huge amount of experience as a result. So that's generally what we want to get. So I'm just going to do this. There we are. We do have a couple of prisoners. I'm going to get rid of some of these. I don't want militia, so I'm not going to be taking any of those. And we'll just take all the loot. And then we're going to hopefully get a full raid. A completely full raid on these villagers here. If we can get a full raid, then we'll be able to sort of accurately see how much experience we're going to get. And oh, my roguery skill already leveled up. So wow, that was actually really fast. Okay, let's see if we level up again, because we've already gained over 5,000 experience. So that's pretty good. There's an army over there, by the way. Ah, they are actually coming. Of course you are. You absolute idiot. Oh, yes. Okay, well, thankfully, because we are indeed raiding, apparently disorganized state does not affect us. That's kind of interesting. I actually thought that disorganized state was a big deal. But yeah, as you can see, it did actually provide us with good amounts of gains. I'm actually very surprised about that, because beforehand it didn't really give me that much. But it could be that the roguery skill is indeed going to be leveling up as a result of... oh dear. Yes, as a result of oh dear. No, but as a result of the amount of value placed on the loot that we gain in the action that we're taking at that time. That's the reason why, if we were to attack some villagers or a caravan or something like that, that we are indeed going to be gaining quite a significant amount of roguery skill when we do that, because their resources that we plunder from them are, providing us with a pretty significant amount of value, or at least the game perceives it as value. I can only assume that is probably the case. That seems to be the case at the very least. Anyway, what we're going to do is I'm just going to get a couple of extra horses here, just because I am wondering for science if this is actually going to increase my speed. It does. Okay. More? No. Okay. So, more horses reduce my speed. So, I will get rid of these. There we go. And then we are just going to sell a bunch of stuff, because we don't even need all this stuff. And as I've already shown you, our companion has good stuff, so we don't really need to worry about that. I actually have a lot of money right now, so it would be really, really good if we could... I know there's 1,000, over there, but I'm basically just trying to get out of here as soon as possible, because what I want to do is I want to get back to the rebel town, and I want to see if I can actually sell a lot of my stuff. Actually, you know what? Okay, I've got another interesting little sciencey thing to do here. I'm not entirely sure if this can actually work. I'm going to market 2. What kind of things do you have? Okay. Wait. Hogs, grain, cheese, butter. Wait a minute. So I can't actually... I can't bargain with these guys. Okay, I can't bargain with these guys, but I can bargain with caravans, right? This guy's moving really, really slowly, right? Yeah, I mean, he's moving about the same speed I am. So what we're going to do... Okay. I'm interested in trading. Okay, so he's got 11,000 in cash. This is what really grinds my gears. Technically, I would be able to take every single penny he has. I'd be able to get 11,000 in gold. But because it's hard capped at 1,000, I only get 1,000 from this, which is hilarious in my opinion. But anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to sell him a huge amount of grain. And grain, as you may or may not know, is a food supply that is very heavy. It's about as heavy as any other food stuff. But basically, we just want to give him as much like overweighing stuff as possible, because I know that for a fact there are a bunch of vassals in and around the area that we're currently at, and they want to attack me. So we're gonna just get rid of all this stuff. And he's going to now be moving relatively slowly, okay? He should be moving relatively slowly because we've given him stuff that is over-encumbering him. And that's kind of what we wanted. So let's just see. He's moving at 5.1 now, which is obviously great. Where is he moving? He's traveling to Diathma. All right, so this is obviously a pretty not so good situation, but hopefully I can get around. There we go. All right, actually perfect. And now all we want to do, even if we cannot find this guy, we know where he's going. We know he's going to Diathma. So if we can, and this is going to be a little bit dicey, because in a world where everyone wants to kill you, it's a little bit difficult to do this, but usually what you do is just click on the destination and then you kind of hope that your guy is just going to go in a straight line. And we are actually going... Look, there he is. There's the guy. There's the guy that we want to actually catch up to. Now, what's really cool about this is if I can outrun... Oh, no. Okay, wait. Let's be a little bit careful here. If I can outrun all of these enemies... is that 1,000 strong army actually going after me? No. Okay, that's absolutely fine. All right, so if he's going to come through here. Okay, so he's going to come through here. This guy still wants to fight me. These guys basically still want to fight me. They do not like me at all. All right, that is pretty bad. That is pretty bad, all things considered. But look at this. Look at how many people I actually have. This is fantastic. So we can get all of these. And this guy. Boom. There we go. Now we have 70 troops, which is actually really, really good. Now, what I want to do, and this is going to be a little bit dicey in itself. I'm not sure if this is even going to work, but... yeah, it's going to be kind of annoying. Okay, we'll go for patrols here. Let's see now. We need to look out for Pennek. I don't know whether he's going to be coming. But I need to just get around these guys really carefully. Like this. And I don't know whether the caravan is actually even going to be here. Because I know that they actually... I think that Tailworlds actually fixed this thing that I'm trying to do right now. I think they did fix it. Which I gotta say is kind of sad. Because I think it was a pretty cool interaction. But I do not want to lose my entire army for the sake of... Okay, wait. Can we... do you think we can actually do this? If we can actually do this, this is going to be one of the greatest... I don't even know, pursuits ever. Okay, so obviously, as you can no doubt tell, this is the same guy. And, yeah. Whoa, wait a minute. Did he sell some stuff? Did he actually sell some stuff? I have no idea, but he's got more cash. Yeah, it seems like he sold some of our weapons and stuff like that. Okay, that's actually really interesting. Okay, so wait a second. If I increase troop movement speed, is that useful? Is that useful than decreasing range damage taken? I think that's more useful. So I'm gonna equip that, and then we're gonna just sell these things to this guy. All right, so then we're gonna attack him. We're just gonna attack him. I'm gonna go in here manually, even though I would prefer to do an auto-resolve.
Under my
because auto-resolve kind of spares me from a potential death, you know, because I don't really want to die myself, and then, you know, remove potential bonuses.
Arrow! Move! Soldier! Move! Infantry, move! Out to forward! Cavalry forward! Archers, move!
Alright, so pretty dangerous to charge in there. They all have crossbows, and as you may or may not expect, that's pretty damaging, you know. That is pretty damaging, so I would prefer not to go in there myself. Furcred has actually leveled up, wow. Okay, that's pretty good. Usually my companions are utterly useless. And this time around, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, okay, I probably should expect a little bit of the beastly nature that he has, because he's actually in the same family as Mengus Ironbelly. And if you remember him from a certain Europe 1100 series, then you'll know just how much of a beast Mengus was. And he was also Ironbelly, and Furcred is Ironbelly too, so I'm not sure if it has something to do with the suffix name or something like that, but they always turn out to be absolute beasts. So, who knows? maybe once he becomes a party or something like that, when we create our Bandit Kingdom, if we ever do, then, you know, that would be pretty cool. Anyway, there's 8.2 renown. Let's actually see how much roguery skill we gained. Okay, so we got 2 points of roguery. Generally, okay, now, this obviously did get nerfed. Alright, yeah. It did get nerfed, from what I can tell. Because, well, to be fair, maybe it didn't. Because, I don't know. I mean, I know it got changed in some way or another. So maybe it did actually get nerfed, and I'm just kind of, you know, coping right now with that. Because, to be honest, as I say, I personally feel like it was really cool. And the ability to do that kind of thing, yeah, sure, okay, fine, could be considered an exploit, but I don't think it was such a bad thing, because the way that roguery skill is now, it's kind of annoying to level it up, you know what I mean? It kind of takes a long time to get it leveled. However, that's not going to stop me. That's not going to stop me from getting it leveled up, because we do need to, you know, do some more raids on villages and things like that. I think that we are actually onto something there, because I think the raid against that village was actually pretty successful, and we were getting some pretty nice results as a result of it, because we do have a good amount of experience. You know, the experience that we gained was actually kind of good, and we did get interrupted by an army. If we hadn't been interrupted by that army, I think we would have been absolutely fine to gain even more points as a result of roguery skill. So it would have been nice. It would have been really, really nice, but yeah, obviously not in that case. So yeah, anyway, I did manage to catch up with the caravan, which was obviously fantastic. These guys are moving at 6.2. They are never going to be caught by me, ever, in a million years. 4.6, 3.5. We might be able to kill these guys. Maybe that would be kind of fun. There's 50 of them, which is a little bit, maybe a little bit dicey, but as you can see, we're now at 70 troops, which is pretty cool, if I do say so myself. You know, I was never expecting to get such a large army. I thought, oh, you know what, we're we're probably going to have a decent time. You know, I'm going to get to a certain level, and then that's basically going to be it. They seem to be actually moving a little bit faster than they were beforehand now. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Not sure why. And there's the pathfinding of Bannerlord at work right here. Wow, that's wonderful. That's that is so beautiful. That's some beautiful pathfinding right there. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I could have stopped this at any time, but I just wanted to show you the absolute ludicrous nature of this. Because literally that should not be happening. You know, my character should literally just run into this guy straight up. But he's not going to do that, you see, because this is what happens. You see? That is just hilarious. I don't even know what to tell you. I don't even know what to tell you about that. That was so bad. Oh, wow. Okay. There you have it. One of the most classic signs that, you know, things need to be a little bit different. You know, I think that people that are being pursued by others, especially after a significant amount of time, they should just get slowed just by a small amount, just so that you get the opportunity to catch up. You know, this is just a quality of life improvement more than anything else, because I'm not even talking about making it super easy or anything like that, because I know people are apparently very upset by that. But what I'm saying is, in general, it's just a way to make things slightly better, you know, so that it's not super annoying. Anyway, these guys actually have more strength than we do. Is that true? Should I even go in here? I'm kind of worried about this now, because maybe my reliance on new recruits and lower tier units is going to come back to bite me now. That may very well happen, which would be pretty bad. So let's actually just see here. Maybe I can specifically assassinate a couple of cavalry.
Kill them all!
Well, that actually turned out to be a lot easier than I thought. Okay. I was actually really worried about that to begin with, and I thought, hey, you know what? I have faith in our units, and, well, the fact that the opponent basically decided to do that thing that they... Well, I actually didn't think that they played it that badly, but generally, they decided to just charge their cavalry in against one person, which was me, of course, and as a result they were just getting themselves picked off. Not by me specifically, but generally they were just getting shot from all different angles, and that was inherently making things very, very difficult for them. I'm not going to be taking any prisoners here, I don't think. Should I? Am I kind of close to Lagata right now? You know what? I'm going to take them just in case. I don't think I'm that close to Lagata because I'm in, like, where am I? Khuzait territory, Sturgia. Yeah. So I'm kind of up here, which is pretty bad. I need to get out of here, to be honest. But anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.